Disney wanted more from Marvel. Now it wants less. And I agree 100%. The superhero studio is cutting back TV production and fixing its film slate after fans lost the plot. Now I wonder why. Is it because there was so many shit that we needed to watch for the movies? I wonder. The head of Marvel Studios told colleagues recently that watching all comic book giants' new TV shows and films has started to feel more like homework than entertainment. This is 100%. Of course, we've been calling this shit out for the past couple of years now, ever since Endgame, and everything started going onto Disney. Plus, you got to watch, what's it called again? WandaVision. You got to watch Agatha All Along. You got to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then you got to watch the sort of shitty ass movies that aren't that good. Look, for me, I think that Shang-Chi, I need to watch Shang-Chi, but based off of what I've known about Shang-Chi, I think that movie probably is mid. And then you have Black Widow, which I also didn't watch. Eternals. Oh my God, so many shit that you need to watch just to keep up. And now you have a bunch of movies that aren't doing so well. It's because like, who is this character? Who's this character? Now, I think that the Thunderbolts movie was average, right? It was like a 5 or 6 out of 10. It's not great, but it's not awful. Given the fact that I didn't have to do any of my homework, I think that may have been a boon for me versus a bane, right? According to what I heard, if you actually did all your homework and actually watched all the characters, you watched Black Widow, you watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then you watch what was it called again? Falcon Winter Soldier. I think that might have ruined a lot of things for you. It's like, oh man, okay. For me, watching all of these stuff, like they sort of gloss over some of the back end of the characters, like their sort of backstories, and it's fine for me. I didn't watch any of those. I still enjoyed the movie for what it was. Like I said, 5 or 6 out of 10. Not a terrible movie. Okay. The problem Kevin Feige acknowledged is that an effort to satisfy a parent company, Disney, hunger for content on its new streaming service, the studio behind the Avengers, turned out too many movies and shows with interconnected stories. They didn't do this with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what they did was smart, right? It was a TV show that revolved around the movie, right? Versus the movie and TV show sort of like you have to watch both of them. You didn't have to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to understand what happened with the stuff in the MCU. However, if you did, it made it more interesting. For this one, and for example, for Thunderbolts, you need to know who these characters are in order for you to get invested. For instance, if a character dies or something happens and something really sad happens to the character, you sort of have to watch the other shit in order for you to understand. Versus the only character that you actually know that's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was actually in the movies is Phil Coulson, Agent Maria Hill, and from time to time, Nick Fury. That's about it. Every other character, like Quake, Yo-Yo, and all the other characters, like Robbie Reyes, they're not in the MCU movies. They're just in the MCU TV show that doesn't have to do with, like, like I said, if you don't have to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to watch the movie. But if you did watch the movies, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be more interesting to you. That's what they should have done with all the other shows, right? Oh, what's going on with Wanda? What's going on with Vision? What's happening to them? I have to watch the show to see who the fuck is White Vision? Who the hell is this bitch? You have to watch that in order for you to understand. People are gonna get lost. Man, that's wild. The deluge of material from the MCU on Disney Plus overwhelmed and eventually alienated viewers. It also stretched Feige and his team's resources thin, diluting the quality of their output. Marvel's box office sales, streaming popularity, and formerly untouchable position in pop culture suffered. Now, Feige is leading an internal overhaul aimed at getting the studio back on track. Marvel is making fewer TV shows with standalone stories that don't require prior knowledge of the MCU. Feige is focused on fixing the studio's movie slate following recent flops like February's Captain America Brave New World. Man, so you guys finally admit that this was a flop. We've been calling this a flop for a long time, given the fact that it had multiple reshoots, multiple different endings, and multiple characters that weren't added to the movie. You guys completely screwed the pooch, and not in a good way. For me, as an Asian, I would have eaten the pooch. The first major test of his reset arrived this week with Thunderbolts, about a team of sidekicks that has been on C-listers who saved the world in the Avengers' absence. The early box office sales indicate that it will open up between 70 million and 75 million in the US and Canada in this weekend, which will output the lowest tier of the company's release. This is not good at all. This is actually really, really low. Now, according to my sources and a lot of people online, I remember Odin, he said that this movie is tracking to make less than Brave New World, which is really bad. Now, granted, I'm not sure how much reshoots this movie has gotten. And as of right now, I don't know the production cost. But yeah, as of right now, Avengers Endgame is the top making, and then followed by Infinity War, and then No Way Home, and the Avengers Part 1, and then Deadpool Wolverine. Those are the movies that are their top. And then everything else, you got like Iron Man, damn. Holy, yeah, I knew the Marvels made no money, but that is very low. The Marvels is their lowest box office in all of their movies. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. What's going on, Mo Zamboni? Hope you're doing well, man. What's going on, B-Man? See, still reviews for Thunderbolts have largely been positive. If fans like the film, they'll likely be primed to see July's Fantastic Four's first step. That movie's stories will lead directly into a pair of Avengers sequels in 2026 and 2027. That Marvel needs to be a massive hit to restore its former morning glory hole. Feige declined the request for an interview. This article is based on interviews with more than a dozen of people that worked at Marvel or done business with the studio. Now, I think that this movie has to do well via word of mouth. According to a lot of friends that I have, and these are woke friends, are saying that this movie was really good. This was really funny. One of the best Marvel movies in some time. But the thing is, what are the top Marvel movies Rotten Tomato, right? Let's see. Top MCU Rotten Tomato movies, right? Franchise Rotten Tomatoes. All right. Here we go. Give me the top. Give me the rank. Okay. Right over here. The top right now is Black Panther, of course, you know, black supremacy. This movie has to do really good. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Black Panther is a 96%. I think that movie is more like an 80%. It's a pretty good movie. It's pretty good. Avengers Endgame at 94, Iron Man at 94, Thor Ragnarok at 93, No Way Home 93, Homecoming 92, Shang-Chi got 92. As an Asian, I probably should watch this movie. As an Asian, I should probably watch Shang-Chi and the 10 Dick Rings. Guardians 1, 92. Far From Home, 91. First Avengers, 91. Captain America, 90. So those are the top 10, okay? So Avengers 1. Now, Thunderbolts is sitting at 88 and 95. This is pretty high. This is pretty damn high for audience score. It is really, really high. Now, if you go to actually, like I said, if you actually go to top critics is 90. So that means that this is I would say this could be probably man, so I was wrong. So it's I would say if that's the case, Thunderbolts right over here, 88. So top 14. I wouldn't agree. What? Thunderbolts is better than Infinity War from the critics? Get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Where? No way that's true, man. Where's Winter Soldier? Okay, right over here. The fact that Winter Soldier is number 12 is weird. Because I think in terms of pacing and writing and acting, I think Winter Soldier is like top 5. Hands down top 5. I wouldn't think Winter Soldier was that low. Really? Winter That's crazy, man. But yeah, like like I don't know what to say. Let's see. Feige, 51-year-old, is widely acknowledged as the most successful movie producer in modern Hollywood. After starting as an assistant and producer in 2000's X-Men, he was hired by Marvel that year and rose to become the final decision maker on everything from scripts to casting, editing, and VFX. Under his guidance, Marvel released an unprecedented string of hits, including Iron Man, Guardians, Black Panther, all along the way, and has acquired Disney. Marvel has acquired by Disney for $4 billion in 2009, crowning his achievement in 2019's Endgame, which united the stories lines of all characters from all 21 films that preceded it, and grossing $2.8 billion, a record at the time. During Marvel's heyday in 2010, Feige was heavily involved in film development. He deployed lower-ranking executives to supervise shooting, then got his hands dirty again in the editing room, often making significant changes and ordering new scenes. His longtime deputy, Lois D'Esposito, had a recurring joke: "We can fix any movie if we shoot it again." I don't think so. Not with Brave New World. You guys didn't fix shit. You guys didn't fix jack shit. But yeah, man. Soon after Endgame, creative staffers began meeting in their office on Disney Studios' lot to figure out where the MCU could possibly go next. The nearby executive building, Disney's senior leadership, and another priority, Chief Executive Bob Iger, was launching Disney Plus. And it was his answer to Netflix. Now, I remember, like I said, I don't say this again. I was a part of the buyout for Fox, okay? And what Disney told us, Kevin Mayer directly told us that Disney's Netflix, they call, I kid you not, they call Disney Plus the Netflix killer. That's what Kevin Mayer told us. And if you guys don't know who Kevin Mayer is the guy who's in charge of direct-to-consumer products. The guy who basically runs all the consumer stuff. He basically is in charge of Disney Plus. He's in charge of consumer products. If Interactive was still there, he'll be in charge of that too. So we called it the Netflix killer. And when I heard that, when they started calling that shit, I'm like, ain't no way you guys are going to top Netflix. And I don't think it's even close. So he needed loads of new series for it and was counting on Marvel to provide many of them. The strategy became just expansion. Feige recently told colleagues he's agreed to the plan because of the zealousness to tell more stories and a desire to be excellent corporate citizens. It turned out to be a mistake. Woof. Marvel's first 2 Disney shows came out 2021. Loki and WandaVision, which continued the stories of the 2 heroes from Endgame in a satirical sitcom world. Both were hits. But Marvel's transition from producing a few hours of movie content annually to several dozen hours of streaming shows and films eventually broke down the studio's processes. A pair of executives oversaw each show, while Feige remained the final decision maker on every significant creative issue, even though there were exponentially more decisions to make each day. People who worked at Marvel in the early 2020s said that it was challenging to secure enough time with Feige to get his feedback. As a result, they sometimes spent weeks on work that proved irrelevant once he weighed in, then found themselves with little time to implement his changes before the deadline. And that's especially with VFX, right? So basically, they got company bloat, and you basically need to remove all of these bloat and just make movies and like 2 TV shows. Make like 3 movies, 1 in the spring, 1 in the summer, 1 in the winter. Make 3 movies and then make 2 TV shows. That's it. People have to do a little bit homework, not too much, all right? It's fine. But if you're going to be adding all these other characters left and right, TV shows of Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Agatha and all these other characters. Like, people are gonna be like, who the fuck are these characters? And that's what happened with US Agent. Now, US Agent, in my opinion, is a better Captain America than Sam Wilson. Is it because he's white? No. He's just better at it. Desperate staffers resorted to chasing Feige in the halls to get answers. Long known as one of the most frugal studios in Hollywood, Marvel began spending like crazy. As at other media companies starting streaming services, cost was object in the race to impress Wall Street. With big increases in subscribers, Marvel series made in the early 2020s regularly cost more than $100 million a season, and sometimes approaching $200 million because they included A-list actors and mostly visual effects. Yep, very fucking expensive, man. And that's where we get the Marvel fatigue. Everyone's like, fuck, man, to do homework. Oh, shit, man. Oh, man, I don't want to. Oh, man. Oh, I don't care, bro. I just want to watch movies. I don't fucking care about TV shows and shit like that. And then they're like, hey, gentlemen, ladies, don't worry. We're going to bring in Daredevil from Netflix. It's going to be really cool. We're going to bring back some of the choreographers from the Netflix stuff. But we're not going to bring back any of the writers because we can do it better ourselves. And that show sucks. Daredevil, Born Again, sucks my 2-inch penis. It's garbage. I liked it when Paramount distributed Marvel movies. It was better. Iron Man 1 was so fucking good. Iron Man 1 is still one of my favorite superhero movies. It's so good. But this is 100% Marvel's own doing. It's their own fault. And now everyone is like, man, why have to watch all this garbage just to keep up? And I even have a lot of normie friends who thinks the same. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Project Eggroll podcast. Make sure to catch us live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Also, be sure to subscribe, and we will see you all there.